Yo, what is up, guys? Thanks for tuning into the video. And as you can tell from the title of the video, this story is going to be about the night that my life was almost taken. But not just my life, but the life of my two other friends as well. Now, we didn't get caught up in some random incident that was just, bad timing or, wrong place, wrong time. No, we were pretty much the catalyst in this whole little ordeal. And so to give you guys a little bit of a setting here, it's out in the middle of nowhere because I lived in the country back then. And we're three teenage guys just kind of chilling, having fun, and it's a few days removed from July 4th. And the stars of this video are going to be myself, Ricky, and Kobe. And yes, I said Ricky, that Ricky. So, like I said, it's a few days removed from July 4th, and we were kind of just sitting around chilling, playing some video games, and we decided, let's go outside and start popping some fireworks. So we go outside, we start popping these firecrackers. Now, we had a ton because I think it was like Ricky's collection left over, Kobe's collection left over, and then there was mine. And the reason why we were hanging out at my place is because we could pop them and really no one cared. Because most of the time people shot their guns off and stuff throughout the year, so I really don't think anyone would have minded about like a few kids popping some firecrackers like July 4th or 5th or 6th, whatever day it was. I don't think it was exactly July 4th. It might have been a day to 3 days removed. So, some point throughout the night, probably around nighttime, one of us caught the bright idea. I don't remember who it was to this day, but one of us got the bright idea of let's go throw them on top of people's houses. It'll be funny. We can put them in mailboxes and we can laugh real hard. So we go to this house and we put one in the mailbox. It blows up. We start laughing really hard. And then we start throwing them on top of houses. Now, looking back on this whole incident, this was extremely stupid. But for some reason, we thought it was funny. Why? Because we were fucking stupid. Now, we continued to do this until we realized, oh man, there's no one home. Now, I don't know why we got bummed out about this, because it's probably a blessing that no one was home. Especially because of what's going to happen next. So what do? We decide to go further out. Now, where we go was probably the dumbest thing you can do. We went to a trailer park. Now, not to sound stereotypical or to sound like, I'm one of those people. This trailer park, you gotta imagine, it's out in the middle of nowhere. It's in the South. And these people made the trailer park boys look like the Grizzlies from the USA Network. Yeah, it was that bad. So we go to the one at the very far back. It was this trailer park that was kind of pushed in the back. There were some trees behind it. And it was like we had enough room to run if, someone came outside, which they're about to. And this isn't even in the incident that, like, the video is titled about. This is something that's about to happen after this incident. So we go onto the side of the house and we start throwing firecrackers. We can hear people inside talking, going, are those on top of the house? Are those on top of the house? So we keep doing it, and we keep doing it and doing it and doing it. So finally we hear somebody screaming. In anger, not like scared screaming, but they're pissed. So what do? Instead of just walking away laughing because we pissed someone off, we throw more. So all three of us take one, we light it, and we throw it on top of the house. You hear pow, pow, pow. And then someone said, alright, that's fucking it. And then we hear storming throughout the house, and that's when we decide, hey, let's leave. So we're getting ready to leave. We're walking through their little yard thing. Didn't really have any grass. It was just kind of dirt. But we start walking, and then we hear someone kick the door open. That's when we realized, oh shit, we fucked up. So we look over, and this person's standing on the porch looking around, and thank the Lord that it was dark enough to where we were kind of hidden. So we take off running. We're like dashing. And then finally the person sees us. Why do I know they see us? Because we heard, I see you little fuckers. And all of a sudden we start hearing firing. Not firing from an actual gun. We're getting to that part of the story. But we're hearing firing from what sounds like a paintball gun or like an automatic BB gun or something. So we are dodging paintballs like crazy. They're flying past us, and it was scary. So we run and we jump in this ditch, and I mean like an actual ditch that like you see on the side of the road. It was a pretty deep one too. So we run and we jump in that. Paintballs are flying by us. I'm trying to maintain, my composure, and I'm trying to look around for a way for us to get out of this whole incident. Colby and Ricky are freaking out. I'm freaking out. And Ricky just starts screaming. I don't know why he started screaming, but he did. Ricky, at the top of his lungs, starts freaking out, going, "Stop! Stop! Don't shoot! Stop! Don't shoot!" And I'm like, "Shut the fuck up!" I was like, "You don't even know where we're at." He knows we're in this general direction. I'm like, "Shut the fuck up!" He keeps on screaming. So finally, I look over and I see one of those tunnels that you guys see. I don't know if you've ever seen them on the highway or on roads or something like that. It's a big concrete tunnel looking thing, but it was just big enough for us to crawl through. So I say, "All right, shut up and follow me." So we start crawling through this fucking ditch. Paintballs are still flying over our heads. We go through the little tunnel. We get all muddy and dirty. And we get out and we take off running. And finally we just hear someone screaming, "Don't fucking come back or I'll kill you, this. And we hear something slam. So I'm guessing that was the door. I'm guessing he gave up. Did this night stop there? No, it didn't. We decided it would be extremely cool to go and keep doing it, which is probably the biggest mistake we could have ever possibly made, because there is a slight chance that one of us could have got killed, if not all three, because of what's about to happen. So what do? We go to the house that's at the end of the street where I live. I'm going to give you guys a little picture here. Close your eyes. The layout of my neighborhood was this long road that went into a U-turn, and then at the very top, you couldn't go forward, you could just go left or right. That little forward is just a house. You can't go forward. There's just a house there, aka a cul-de-sac, I believe. We go to this house. Now, there's street lights all up and down my neighborhood road. All up and down it. So, if for some reason we got caught out of position, we can't run down the road. It's impossible. Goddamn forbid. I don't know why we did this. I'm just looking back right now and just shaking my head. Anyway, continuing with the story. We go to this house and we start throwing firecrackers on top of it. And we threw a lot on top of this house. Let me just say it. For some reason, we kept throwing them, trying to get a reaction out of these people, I'm guessing, because that's the only logical explanation I can come up with for why we kept throwing them on top of these fucking houses. So we're throwing them, and we're throwing them, and we're throwing them, and we're throwing them. Finally, we get ready to throw another one, and we see the door open, and we see the light coming across the backyard. So, we got really quiet, and we start backing up to go down the road and try to see if we can't sneak on our way back home. Well, here's where the night gets a little bad. I don't know if you guys have ever heard the sound of a shotgun cocking, but you know what it sounds like. The night was extremely quiet. The only thing you could hear was the sound of us throwing firecrackers. We're out in the middle of nowhere. There's really no traffic. There's no city sounds. There's nothing like that. It's just the sound of darkness. That's it. A few bugs. Some people might be outside talking here and there. But for the most part, it's extremely quiet. And at that moment, when we heard that gun cock, the very, very sound of fear went through our bodies. I say the sound of fear because that's all we heard was just gunshot, or like the gun cocking, excuse me. And the fear of death comes over us. Instead of sticking with our original plan, instead of running down the road, keeping it in the yards, because we would be concealed enough to where they wouldn't be able to see us, we take off running down the opposite way to the right. Where we were going, no idea. But we seen a flashlight before we took off running. So I'm guessing this person came outside with a shotgun and a flashlight and was ready to shoot somebody. We are taking, we're just taking off. We're running, we're sprinting, we're running for our lives, literally. Now, we heard the gun cock. That's all we heard. That's all we needed to hear to be afraid. So we're dashing down the road, and I realize we have no clear way to get back home, get back to my house. We have no way at all to get back. So we stop and we're looking around, and I realize that the only way for us to get back home is if we go behind my house and cut through this field. Now, this field, of course, is out in the middle of nowhere, and it's this old abandoned like plains that like they used to have cows and stuff like that on, that just isn't used anymore. Like the grass is completely overgrown. It's probably about 2.5 feet tall probably, and this is the only way we can get back home. So we start going down this long road. I can see my house across the way, and so I'm looking at Ricky and Kobe, and I'm like, we got to do it. So we start walking through this field. And I don't know if you guys know what these little weeds are called, but there's these little sharp weeds. Well, Ricky and I are in shorts. Okay, Ricky and I are wearing shorts only. Well, not shorts only. Okay, we're wearing shorts. You guys get what I'm saying. We're wearing only shorts, and so our legs are getting sliced up like crazy. Kobe is in fucking pants, and he's all good. He's good to go. You know, he's walking through, no problems really. And the only thing that like is really going through our minds at this point is, where is this person with this gun? Because if they see us, then we're fucked. We just have that constant fear going through our heads that if we get seen, we're going to get killed. Well, we finally get through probably about halfway through the field, and we found out that we have to go through about halfway through the neighborhood because there's no way we're making it directly behind my house. And so we're going to have to go through, and we're going to have to go back to our original plan of just going down the road in the yards. Well, we run up to this little obstacle. Now, there's this really old barbed wire fence thing in front of us, and none of us can step over it. Not even Ricky, and he was the tallest one out of all of us. He couldn't even step over this thing. So, of course, we have the fears, stupid kids, that if we stepped over this, our balls are going to get slit open, and that was literally our fear. So we actually just one of us put their foot down on top of the barbed wire. We pushed it down. One person put their foot on it, pressed it down, and the other one pressed it down. One would step over, and we would repeat the process. Now, being the shortest one, they decided they wanted to both get on one side, press it down as far as they could so I can step over. Well, I go to step over, and I start moving, and I hear this cartoonish ripping sound. I realize it's my shorts. I ripped this big ass hole in my brand new shorts, and Ricky and Kobe just start laughing. They start laughing at me, and I'm like, how the fuck can you guys laugh at this point? But yeah, I got this big hole going through my pants, so now I got weeds and stuff going up in my shorts, tickling my legs and thighs and freaking me out all the way back. Well, finally we get through this damn field. We finally get through this thing. We get up to the road, and we're scared. We're so scared to get back on the road because we don't know if they saw 3 people running. They don't know, we don't know what's going on. So we start creeping up, and one of the neighbors comes out. I knew this guy for probably many years. My parents knew him too. He was like, what the hell are you guys doing out? He goes, I can't remember this guy's name, but he said, the guy up there is looking for people to shoot. And he goes, if he catches you guys out here, he might shoot you because he might mistake you for someone throwing firecrackers on. I'm trying to word this the best of my memory, but basically he said that there was a guy up at the road with a shotgun looking for people who were throwing firecrackers on top of the house. 3 dirty kids with a Walmart sack, panting, with the fear of death on their face. He looks at us and he says, are you guys fucking shitting me? He goes, that's you? He goes, man, that guy's looking for you. That guy was looking to kill you. And he goes, you guys get home now. He said, if I see the guy, he goes, I'll cover for you. But he said, you need to get home now. So like we just nod. That's all we could do. We just nod. So we go down the street, and we hear screaming, and like we're just terrified. Well, we finally get back to my house. We walk inside, and we go in the kitchen. We turn on the lights. Ricky and I just have blood all down our legs. We're all just scared. We're shaking, and we said fuck it. We went in the bathroom, washed up, and we went to bed. That was the end of that night. We haven't really ever spoke of it ever since, because we actually almost died that night. That was it. That was almost it for us, man. So it's just crazy going back and thinking about that. But that's gonna do it for the story, guys. And the moral of this story: don't go do dumb shit. Be responsible, and just behave. But you're all awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoyed the story. Take care, guys, and peace.
Good effect. UAV on standby.
In the turn, sensors will capture your objective.
UAV inbound. CDP, all objectives secured. Great job.
Mobile artillery getting the win.
You suck!